Schools in the region are busy wrapping up distance learning and preparing for graduation under the pandemic. This week, a number of school superintendents in northern Minnesota joined a Zoom call to talk about the challenges they faced this spring. Here are some excerpts of that discussion.
Obviously, graduation has been the hot topic. I sat in on the School Board Association meeting yesterday where the commissioner was on there, and that's probably one of the most passionate things that are happening in our state right now as schools talk about graduation. Schools like mine that are small, or people that are speaking for schools like mine that are small, have a tendency to feel like, you know, we could manage all these DNR and MDH and MDE guidelines very easy by having them in our buildings. But the commissioners made it very clear that COVID doesn't know what size your school is. So in regards to graduation, pretty much in both of my districts, we are going to take the graduation to the kids. So what we tried to do is, rather than focus on what we can't do, we wanted to focus on what we could do as a small school and an advantage to be in a small school. So like Ray, my graduation in both of my buildings is about 20. Northland will be graduating on the 28th and the 29th, and Hill City will be graduating on the 29th. And basically, if you were standing on the stage for a traditional graduation, we're putting you in the bus and we are going to the student's house, and we're just going to get out of the bus and put on a 5-minute ceremony. The students can have whoever they want at their house as we do a little mini ceremony. We've got law enforcement going to coming in. We got fire engines going to be following us in. So as an example, in Grand Rapids, I live in Grand Rapids, and I have a student who lives right down the block from me from Hill City, and I'm thinking how cool it would be when a couple of a fire truck and a couple of police with sirens blaring pull into the front of the house and do a mini ceremony for that student, let them celebrate that with their family, and then go on to our next students.
In both Nashwauk-Keewatin and in Deer River, we'll be holding a graduation that has kind of a drive-in movie theater approach. We had other plans set up until last Friday when those new guidelines changed those plans for us. In Nashwauk-Keewatin, that graduation will occur on May 29th, and in Deer River, it will occur on May 31st. We've also made some adjustments to grading policies in both districts and really around the state to reflect the need to continue the learning, as well as to accommodate students that are struggling with this different learning environment. And so showing them some grace and trying to protect them into the future, and making sure that their transcripts as they move to higher education, if they do that, that they remain protected and they can that their future remains in sight. And we're looking towards the future. We have a limited guidance on what we're able to do this summer. Right now, there are only a couple instances where students are allowed in the school. Most of the schools in our region have had summer school programs, but we're at this point not able to operate those in the same way. So we're waiting for more guidance on that, and then looking to the fall, planning for many different possibilities as far as what fall could look like. And our assumption is that we won't know what we're going to be able to do this fall until much, much closer to this fall.
Here in Floodwood, we have typically been serving between 200 and 240 breakfast and lunches that we deliver to homes every day. And thankfully, we have an amazing staff here at Floodwood that has just jumped on board and have been very supportive of our families and one another. Our graduation will be held on May 29th, and it will be a virtual graduation. Although we do have it set up where the graduate and their parents will come into the building to walk across the stage. We're going to record them and put it together in a ceremony. We have 22 graduates at Floodwood, and so I feel like we're able to honor the guidance that's put forth through the Department of Health and MDE, but still celebrate our seniors.
Recently, we received updated information on graduation from the Departments of Health and Education. As a school district for both the Bigfork graduating class and the Grand Rapids graduating class, we believe we've created ceremonies that will celebrate the amazing achievements of these graduates, while still keeping those children, their families, and the community safe. Graduates and their immediate families will be invited to participate in ceremonies in front of our schools, while the community will be available or able to view the ceremonies live on Facebook. We're also working hard to make sure that your kids and our kids will be safe and ready to return when school starts again in the fall. We continue to receive guidance and updates from the Department of Health and the Department of Education, and as we receive those updates, we monitor and adjust the plans that we are putting into place.
Our teaching staff and our support staff have gone above and beyond to assist in the educational delivery of distance learning in these last period. Our staff have utilized our one-on-one devices with our students. The district has purchased several hotspots to assist in some of those students that didn't have direct connection with these families to at least provide the best educational that we can in this time frame. In addition, we've been providing childcare for the Tier 1 families that has ranged anywhere from 10 to 25 students per day. Our food service, we've been providing meals of anywhere from 400 to 1,000, depending upon which day and the amount of delivery that we are doing.
We did a survey as well and asked our parents what was challenging the most to them. And in both cases, in both communities, the two things that parents struggled with the most were balancing their own personal lives and their work, and in some cases, their own going back to school with being their child's teacher. And the second thing in both communities was motivating their child or their student. And so again, like Mr. Martinson said, we made some adjustments to that, tried to increase the amount of engagement and connections that we were making at home. And I think that all in all, it's been going well. We've definitely had some challenges, but have been working through those.
There are some things that I think we're going to keep in the tool belt come fall, even if we came back full force and didn't have to do any distance learning. The way we use technology, the way we do our IEP meetings, even in some aspects, the way we meet as a staff and how using this format, how easy it is. The other piece I think that's been really positive is the interactions with parents. I've been doing this 32 years and I've never sat in meetings and had teachers talk ad nauseum on how they're trying to get a hold of a parent or a kid, or they met with this parent, or they're very sensitive to that parent because there's 6 kids in the house. And even the teachers that have gone out on these routes, these meal routes, and have seen the neighborhoods of the kids they've been teaching for maybe 20 years and never been out there. So that's been really a positive thing.